Welcome, everyone. This is the ReelCast. I am Aaron Ahmet, and I have my two co-hosts, Jared Weathers and Brandon Tuning.
What's up?
Last week, guys, we had an interesting ReelCast. We had a March Madness tournament of what was the greatest Disney Channel original movie. I may not agree with what won, but it was fun. See, I can rhyme too. I can be a Disney writer. Anyways,
Ooh.
so we're continuing the March Madness game since March isn't over yet. So why not? We are going through what is the greatest TV show ever. We
Yeah,
have
so
we have four regions. Jared, you want to take over from there? Explain the regions.
the first region one, which is in I screen shared with these guys so they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So the region one in the top left hand corner is Fox. Um and then we have in the bottom right hand corner is NBC for region 2. Region 3 is ABC and or yeah, and what is it? Yeah, and then Region 4 is CBS.
Hmm.
hmm
This is going to be a good tournament, guys.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's going to go by slower than the Disney Channel original movie one. Even though that was fun to do. Um,
it was.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Um, so yeah, again, I have my two co-hosts, Brandon Tuning and Jared Weathers. Jared Weathers is the attorney guy who takes over the bracket, makes the brackets. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing this.
That's right.
So,
Objection.
Objection to
let's give
what?
a round of
What
applause
happened?
for Jared.
You said you're the attorney, so I said objection.
I said the attorney man. I said the attorney man.
Oh,
Jesus.
Turn
attorney. Got it.
attorney man. I mean,
God.
Jared could be an attorney if he wanted to, but that just takes too damn long.
But
Too
between
That's
much.
you
true.
and
Too
me,
much.
I know he's not an ace attorney.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh,
Stop it.
I just choked on some ice a little bit. Whoop, I'm good.
Not the first thing.
All right. So, guys, how we are gonna do this? We are gonna go by round. So, first episode is gonna be the first round. This one's gonna be a long one because there's gonna be some heated arguments about some of these
There is.
shows.
There is.
Um, So yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, we have Malcolm in the Middle taking
Yeah,
on American Idol.
That's right.
Brandon, vote first.
all right. I appreciate you letting me go first, but I am not going to stretch this one out at all. Not ever a fan of the competition shows. American Idol, I've liked the least of all of them. I do prefer, not a plug. I do prefer the new show that's out, Mass Singer, but American Idol, hate it. And Malcolm Middle is a classic TV show. I'm gonna go Malcolm on this one.
All right, Jared.
Um, I like the original American Idol with
Mm,
Randy Jackson
Simon
and Simon
Cowell,
Cowell and Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul. Yeah,
The newer incarnations are awful. So I have to explain this though. So I know American Idol isn't on Fox anymore.
hmm
mhm,
Neither is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but they were for a majority of their run, so that's why I kept them in here.
right.
Um,
Agreed.
just so everyone knows. So if we're talking about the show in whole, not as big a fan as I am Malcolm in the Middle, so I'm gonna go Malcolm in the Middle.
You
All
know,
right.
you, you know
Clean,
what?
clean, clean sweep here.
Clean
I
sweep.
mean, again, the original American Idol was great.
Yep.
But I just love Malcolm in the Middle. It, I mean, Bryan Cranston, one of the greatest actors in
Oh yeah.
cinema and
Easy.
TV.
Yep. Absolutely. And
Just
on your
so
guys' behalf, I'm just gonna make this easy for us. Between these two shows, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
I'm sorry, but that was absolutely dreadful.
All
Uh,
right,
right, so yeah,
Jared's not going to do
so
it.
no. So I'm gonna move on. So the next one is Arrested Development versus Futurama. So Aaron, go ahead.
Both good shows. I will admit, I I love Futurama. It's great. It's funny. It makes you think sometimes. Like I wonder if this is actually going to be the future.
Right.
And I mean, it's great. Arrested Development again, great show. It can be funny. You know. Uh, but I would have to go with Futurama.
Okay. Um, Brandon, you can go ahead.
That's fine. I love Jason Bateman and Arrested Development. I know really brought him even further into the limelight, but not one of the shows I watched when I was younger. I prefer Futurama, therefore I'm going to go Futurama. Easy.
And that's gonna be a clean sweep for me, dog. Futurama all the way.
He did it.
Fu- Futurama,
Two,
mom.
two, two clean sweeps already.
Yeah,
We haven't
I'm kind of
two
surprised.
in a row. In a row. We
Let's
didn't
be
even
honest
have
here.
that. We didn't even have that for the Disney Channel original movie
No. Let's be
tournament.
honest though. So far, and I know that people at home can't see our screen, but so
Right.
far I can tell easy competition. But I can already see not even second round. I'm talking about coming up soon. We're gonna have some competition here.
Oh yeah,
Yes, definitely,
definitely.
definitely, definitely. So up next we have 24 against King of the Hill. Ooh. Jared, go first.
All right, so this was gonna be a little controversial. So I
Go
like both
ahead.
shows. I grew up watching 24. Me and my grandma would sit on our couch and just watch 24 every single week it was on. Um, Now I like King of the Hill. It's a funny show, but I think 24 has a better story in it, and I like Kiefer Sutherland as Jack Bauer, so I'm going 24.
All right. Brandon, you get to go second.
I'm sorry,
Just
Aaron.
your
I'm
turn.
gonna make your job difficult.
Oh,
For me,
No.
I never watched 24 growing up, ever. I know of it. I know what it sounds like. Honestly, now that I'm older, I'd like to go back and maybe Hulu or Netflix it. But when I was growing up, King of the Hill, all the way. Mike Judge for life.
all
You're
right, so
making me do this.
Aaron's the deciding vote now.
Just like he
Damn
loves.
it.
His favorite thing.
He loves
Ah,
he
you're
loves it.
making the champ be the tiebreaker. Well, perfect 10, I guess.
You didn't win last time, let's be honest here.
No,
Yeah.
no, but should have. Anyways, both both are great shows. Kiefer Sutherland, a great actor, very underrated in my opinion. But again, King of the Hill, great show. I love Mike Judge. He's a great animator. He's a great voice actor. Man, Kiefer Sutherland, he's got that it factor as an actor. I'm
He jumps
going
through
with
Christmas
24.
trees.
Yeah,
24.
he's 24. I'm sorry, King of the Hill, you didn't make the cut. Just like
All
you've been
right.
canceled.
Yeah. So the next one is Bob's Burgers versus Melrose Place. Aaron, you get to go first on this one.
I have never seen Melrose Place. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I love Bob's Burgers, man. Bob's Burgers is so great. H. John Benjamin, great voice actor in so many things. He's Carl in Family Guy. He's Bob Belcher. He's Archer. He's everywhere, and I love it.
He's also a tin can in Wet Hot American Summer.
Classic. Classic.
Yep. Very true.
I'm gonna go with Bob's Burgers.
All right, Brandon.
This is an easy for me. I had a very closed off TV choice when I was younger because I was so encompassed with wrestling that very rarely did I kind of jump off of wrestling or cartoons. Therefore, Melrose Place, never seen it. We're going Bobby.
And that's gonna be a clean sweep for me, dog. Bob's Burgers
Oh,
wins that
Jesus.
round.
You're Paula. You're Paula. You're not going to give
No,
up that.
that's Randy.
No, but he's Paula because I chose to be Randy and you chose to pick, what's his
Simon.
nuts?
Simon.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a Simon. Um, Up next, we have the Bernie Mac show against Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Who made,
9-9.
who made this?
This one
Who
was
made
tough,
this?
man.
I did.
Brandon.
Me.
Brandon,
Is it
go.
all right? Who made these competition choices? Was it
Me.
you? Was it you?
Yeah.
Terrible. You are a horrible man. I love Bernie Mac. Love him to death. R.I.P. Classic stuff there. I watched almost every episode. However, huge Andy Samberg fan. Love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Still watching it. Just watched another episode yesterday. That's my show. Like I've watched every episode. I don't miss it. I'm gonna go Brooklyn.
Ooh. Um. Again, Bernie Mac was a great actor. I loved his stuff. The show was good. It was funny. Like it was entertaining. It was comedic, and I loved it. But again, Andy Samberg, coming from SNL and Hot Rod and all those, all these great films, and
That's my boy.
him in the Lonely Island, him and Terry Crews in Brooklyn Nine-Nine pair perfectly. They have such great chemistry together, and I love it. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine, man, gets my vote.
And that's a clean sweep here, folks.
I want to clarify. I do want to clarify. Bernie Mac, if it was any other show, if it was for me, if it was 24 or Arrested Development or American Idol, that would have moved. Why is there a snowball on my face? Anyways, that would have
Sorry.
moved on. It's okay. That would have moved on easily. But you put it against Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and now
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry because I see the next one.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Up
Yeah.
next, we have Married with Children and
Ugh.
How. Jared, go, man.
Who?
You, Jared.
Okay. So
Ugh.
so again, I love these two shows. It hurt me putting them against each other.
You didn't have to.
Um I felt like I did.
He kind of
But
did have to.
Ugh.
Again, me and my grandma watch House every single week was on. I went back to watch the entire series on Netflix. It's off Netflix now. It's not streaming on anything, which is also, or it's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon.
And
Yep.
obviously, I love Married with Children. Watched every episode of that. Even though they're two completely different shows with different types of characters in them. Personally, I have to go House. I think it's a better show overall. Plus, Hugh Laurie is amazing as a drug addict. Plus, not only that though, it's also based on Sherlock Holmes. So,
All right. Brandon, go next.
All right, so you're gonna make me do a very difficult choice because once again, like Jared just said, I've seen every episode of both shows. I watched House when it was live. I've rewatched Married with Children, obviously, because I was too young to watch it live. You're talking about my favorite 80s, 90s, and 2000 shows right here, smack dab in the middle, and you want me to pick between each. So I have to be logical. I'm going to think about what a random person being sit in front of a chair, or sit in a chair in front of a TV watching these two episodes. What I would personally think is that even though it is exciting and fantastic and the story around it is wonderful, House with the medical vernacular might turn people off. However, Married with Children with dad jokes, fat chick jokes, chicken jokes, money jokes, wife jokes, everybody can enjoy these jokes. I'm going to go Married with Children because everybody can enjoy that. Not everybody can enjoy House as much as we do. And I know
that's
all
true.
of us do.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, your favorite position?
Oh
Back
God!
at it again.
I
Back at it
set
again in the
myself-
middle.
I set myself up with it. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen Married with Children.
What? What?
No,
Are
no,
you
this is a
joking right now?
travesty. This
Oh
is a
no.
travesty.
Oh no.
I wish I was joking, but no, I've
Oh
never seen
no.
it.
Oh no.
But I've seen
My
the
whole world's
house.
crumbling around me.
Yeah, I
It's on
oh
Hulu though, right? I believe it's on Hulu.
yeah, it's
I
on
believe it
Hulu.
is, yeah.
I
Vacant.
will I will definitely check it out.
Oh no.
Oh jeez.
Oh god.
Oh jeez.
But I love House. Like it's so good.
It is.
Uh,
Just because you duped me for Smart House, I'm sorry, but House moves on.
Oh,
you are being judged. Like I
you're
think
being
personally,
judged.
Jared would
Hardcore.
change. He would change his choice just to give Married with Children a fighting chance because you haven't seen it.
Well, in this tournament, we don't get a save. Okay,
Oh,
I
wait a
allowed
minute.
it in the Disney Channel
Wait a
tournament.
minute.
I'm
What do
not
I see
allowing
here?
it.
What do I see here? I see a change.
Oh, hell no. No, House moves on.
Nope.
I don't.
Just to spite you, Aaron.
No,
Very much
you
children
can't,
moves on.
Oh,
Just to
you
spite
can't
you.
change. You can't change your damn vote.
it's his
It's
tourney. You said it.
I can. I
Your
can. Because
your
I made
show,
it.
his tourney.
I made it. So I can do whatever I want. I'm in control. I'm in control.
Oh man.
I run this shit.
No, you
Uh,
don't.
I'm the
executive
host.
producer. Executive producer.
Ow, my cheeks are hurting from laughing.
So
I
the
love
next one,
House though. I love House.
I love it too. I do, but he has to marry with children, and that upset me.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's the thing. Before you go into that, let's be
yeah,
honest. The whole point of this is to have opinions and see what is right. I feel like I brought a very good opinion to why Married with Children would beat House. That was it.
you're
That's
right.
all I'm
Yeah,
pointing out.
you're right. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
House show.
So
First Smart House, and now House. What's the
Here's
deal with shows and movies with House in
here,
it?
here's my thing. Let me point this out for you, Aaron. I'm going to make this real easy for you. You said that you might
Oh,
go check. No, I'm being serious. You're
yeah,
going to go check out Married with Children, right? I
yeah.
want you to come back later in an episode, and I want you to tell us after you watch at least a season, maybe a best of, maybe even a YouTube video of what Married with Children is, and tell me if you could make that decision again.
yeah,
That's my point.
Right. But man, what is your guys' dilemma with House and houses and movies and TV shows with the name House?
Well, I'll tell you
What
what.
is
When we
we gonna
do
bump
movies,
Full House off the tournament?
when we do normal movies, Roadhouse isn't moving on either.
no, it's not. It's
I
not.
wait,
100%.
which one? The Ronda Rousey version or the Patrick Swayze version?
Either,
Ronda Rousey
either.
did one? I might have to watch
Yes,
that out
she
of
did.
spite.
Yes, she did.
Where's
She
that
did.
at?
Ronda Rousey.
I
Where's
I
don't
don't
that at?
know.
know.
Hmm.
I was
All
probably
right,
on the network.
we're
So
moving on.
the next one
Yeah.
is Family Guy versus In Living Color. Aaron, you
Oh,
can start.
Okay, Family Guy, great show. It's had its downs, it's had its many ups. I still love it. I still watch it to this day.
On
I've
the
been
air for 21 years.
that's I'm older than Family Guy. That's crazy.
Yep.
I'm older than but I rewatch the series every now and then and it gets funnier every time. In Living Color, I love In Living Color, man. It it sparked the career of Jim Carrey. It brought, you know, the Wayans brothers well known into the world.
It even started J-Lo's career.
I did not know
let's
that, but
let's be honest.
damn.
That booty was gonna make it anyways.
I mean, you're right, but that really started it for her. So
Mhm. But I love the show In Living Color. My favorite segments are with Damon Wayans as Homie D Clown.
Homie, don't play that.
Homie, don't play that. Now, children. Um, but man, see that this is a difficult one because they're both great shows and they both live up to its hype over the years. But as much as I love Family Guy, man, In Living Color's got to move on.
All right, In Living Color. Brandon, you can go next.
All right. This is going to be real difficult for me as well because I grew up with In Living Color. My mom and I would watch it every. I think it came on Saturday nights, same time as Saturday Night Live. And we're talking about I'm a I'm a damn toddler watching two men fake being gay reviewing movies, which is still fantastic. If you haven't watched that, that's David Allen Greer and Damon Wayans doing it together, and it's legitimately and it's funny. And of course, just search "best of Jim Carrey in Living Color" and you'll know what In Living Color is all about and why Jim Carrey deserved to be around. But we're talking about Family Guy now. Seth MacFarlane, a genius, a genius. This man shits gold, like
Fun,
literally.
pretty interesting fact about Seth MacFarlane. He was actually supposed to be on one of the flights during 9/11.
That's true.
He
He was.
he ended up having a hangover and missed his flight.
Which
Imagine what could have been. We wouldn't have had Family Guy anymore.
we wouldn't have
Yeah.
Ted. We wouldn't have A Million Ways to Die in the West. All these great Orville. Oh
You want to
God,
have the
Orville.
Orville,
American Dad.
Oh, uh,
American Dad.
uh,
I like American Dad,
yeah.
but that's just me.
So back to my choice. I have seen every episode of Family Guy. I have not seen every episode of In Living Color because they make it extremely difficult to watch classic episodes, and I'm not a
They
fan of
do.
that. I would love to rewatch that series, but for the sake of competition, I am going to give up one of my favorite shows, In Living Color, in favor of Family Guy, just so I can watch Jared squirm.
Family Guy moves on.
Oh,
No, okay, hold on.
yeah,
So
come on.
I like both shows. I do.
Mhm.
Um, I think I'm more of a fan of the show The Wayans Bros than In Living Color. Just because I grew up watching the scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I always felt more closer, and I also watch White Chicks,
White
and
Chicks is so good.
Terrible.
so I always like Sean and Marlon more than Damon and Keenan,
Oh.
and so I never really liked In Living Color. Uh, but I love Family Guy. I've seen every episode or most episodes except for
Mm-hmm.
like 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched it over and over and over again. I own some of the DVDs. Like I love
Of
Family
course.
Guy, so
Yeah.
going with Family. So the next one we got the X Files versus the Simpsons. Brandon, you can go first.
I actually, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier with 24. Except I actually went through with this when they rebooted or started making new episodes of the X Files. I watched that. I watched it and I was so into it. But when X Files was coming around, it was way too complex. That and Buffy the Vampire Slayer was way too complex for a toddler or a young teen to really grasp and enjoy. So I ended up not watching those shows. And both shows, ironically, I'm trying to rewatch right now, specifically. But with the X Files, I love the idea of a episodic season TV show based around are you good guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Okay.
I'm
was
not hearing
plugging my
nothing.
phone.
Okay. All I heard was
I
just
was just
creaking.
moving around. Oh yeah, sorry, my bed is loud as
It's all
hell.
good. It's okay. I'm just like, man, either someone's
I
ripping
was trying
ass.
I was trying to be as quiet as possible. That did not.
Sounded like Godzilla was walking around.
I can
Anyways.
swallow up the hole in the Godzilla. Gonna hit the
Uh,
deck like the Godzilla. Anyways,
so
continue.
with the X Files. Great concept. I think and you guys can smack me down if you disagree. I think Supernatural kind of got the idea a little bit better down for everyone to enjoy, rather than the X Files kind of being primarily alien related and not many people being into it. However, I'm diving so much into X Files because unfortunately Simpsons is a no brainer that it has to beat X Files, not only for longevity, but once again, going back to Married with Children versus House, the Simpsons is something anybody can enjoy versus the X Files, where you have to be committed to enjoy that. And I love the X Files. Simpsons is simple.
I'm gonna go next. So
Set me up for the tiebreaker, eh?
no, I agree with everything Brandon said, and that's kind of I think that's kind of why I went with Family Guy, because I'm going to the last one because in Living Color you have to know the people that they're like, just like SNL, you have to know the people that they're referencing and they're making fun of. If you don't know who they are, then how is it going to be funny? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Family Guy is on the same level as The Simpsons, which is on the same level as Married with Children, uh, and a little bit Futurama. They're so easy to get into. You can start anywhere and just watch any episode in any order because they're simple to grasp. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are easier to probably win something like this. I've never seen the X Files. I've heard about it. I've seen it referenced even in The Simpsons and Family Guy. Um, and I think The Simpsons has more of a cultural touchstone than most of these shows that we're talking about. To be quite honest, not all of them. Obviously, there's a lot of them that have been parodied by a lot of shows, but um, I mean, The Simpsons. If it wasn't for The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, none of these would exist. So I'm going with Simpsons.
I too am going with Simpsons. It's a cultural phenomenon when it comes to animation. Disney started it. Disney started that revolution, and then it went into The Simpsons. Like what Jared said. If it wasn't for The Simpsons, we wouldn't have Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, King of the, probably would have had
King of the
King of the
Hill,
Hill.
Futurama, any of that.
Yeah, I mean, we
Beavis and
probably would
Butthead,
have
none
had
of it.
we probably would have had King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead eventually, but
Eventually, but
again,
not as early
but
as we
if it,
did.
but if right, but if it wasn't for The Simpsons, we wouldn't be having these amazing cartoons that we love growing up, as teenagers and then into adulthood. It was The Simpsons that got it started. The first
Yep.
like adult cartoon I watched was The Simpsons, and then it went into Family Guy. So Simpsons moves on. I'm sorry, Brandon.
So the next one we have up. So we're into the NBC region.
Ooh.
Um, we have Law
So
and Order versus Scrubs up first. Aaron, you can
is it
start.
is it just Law and Order, or is it SVU?
Nope.
Which
Oh,
one
it's
are we
it's
talking?
just the original Law and Order.
The original. Okay.
Yep.
Uh, I love Law and Order. I love all the variations of Law and Order as well. Scrubs, great show. Love it. It's hilarious. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Scrubs. I I watched like I've seen more of Scrubs than the original Law and Order. I didn't really watch much of the original Law and Order. I've seen a little bit of it, but like I when it comes to Law and Order, I'm more focused on Criminal Intent and Special Victims Unit, which are both great adaptations of the show. But Scrubs, man, it's great.
Brennan, you can go next.
I prefer CSI over Law and Order. Scrubs moves on.
All right. Well,
That,
I do like
that
Scrubs, but I'm going
was
with Law and
quick.
Order, so it's not a clean sweep, but it moves
That's
on.
okay. That is okay.
Um,
It doesn't always have to be a clean sweep, guys.
No.
I like Law and Order because it's I mean it's the basis for all the other Law and Orders that we've gotten, and I love SVU. I have seen every episode up to it after until Stabler leaves. Like after that, I didn't watch any of it anymore. Uh,
Yeah,
so
it
I
was different after Stabler, after Christopher
yeah.
Maloney left the show.
So yeah. So
And
I'm gonna go Law and Order.
they never did anything about his character. They didn't like kill him off. They didn't do anything. He just kind of up and vanished.
Yep.
They didn't give an angle about it. They just kind of
Well, they put him on leave, and then I think he got fired off screen later.
oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Special Victims Unit still a great show to this day. I enjoy still seeing Mariska Hargitay as Detective Benson or Chief
Mariska
Benson.
Hargitay.
Actually, she's the police. She's the chief now of
She is.
police.
Yes, she is.
I totally forgot they bumped her to
They
chief of
just
police. I
keep
totally.
promoting her, which I mean, her character deserves, you know.
Oh yeah, like she's
But we can talk about that in a little bit. So
yeah.
right now we have I Dream of Jeannie versus Saved by the Bell. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go with Saved by the Bell just because it's more relatable than I Dream of Jeannie, obviously.
Mhm.
Aaron, you can go next.
Well, Zach Morris is trash, but
Zach Morris is trash. I'll tell you
Saved,
what.
Saved by the Saved by the Bell is such a great show. I've never seen I Dream of Jeannie. I've heard of it, but I've actually never seen an episode of it. Again, Saved by the Bell, man. It's more relatable to us
Yeah.
because that was us in high school.
Yeah, totally.
We wanted to be like Zach Morrison.
I
Ironically,
didn't,
I went to
but
I went to high school. I went to high school with a guy named Zach Morris.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Not
But yeah,
clean
Saved by the
sweep.
Bell.
What was that, Brian?
Not a clean sweep though.
Oh, it's not.
Nope.
Uh,
Ah.
uh,
Aw, but Brandon, come
but
Not today.
on.
everybody remember Zach Morris is trash. He's a
Hashtag
trash
Zach Morris
person.
is true.
All right. So next up we have Superstore versus Friends. Brandon.
Oof, you gonna give it to me? That's
Yep.
easy. You're not gonna get much out of me. Never been a Friends fan. Zero. Never liked it. I've watched a couple episodes. Not my cup of tea. I enjoy the memes. I enjoy the comedy that can come out of a episode. Like I'm sure if you put all the jokes from all the seasons on one pile, you can make maybe one episode. But I actually really do enjoy Superstore. I can hear the tension from someone waiting to speak next. I'm gonna
No.
go Superstore.
Aaron, I'm pretty sure we can make this a clean sweep, right?
Um, can I make an argument quick?
Oh God.
Hold on.
I
Hold on.
guess.
Hold on. So, Friends is a great show. I love Friends. You know, Jennifer Aniston. It sparked Jennifer Aniston's career. Um, you know, so many great actors in that show, but it's like how like shows now from like the 90s are starting to get like cultural big now because people are kind of like saying, "Oh, this show was great." You weren't even old enough to watch this show, so why? So I don't get why like people our age and well, not our age, but like younger people think, "Oh, Friends was such a great show. I love Friends." Really? How old were you when he came out? Exactly. And it's just like getting so big, and it's like people who've never really actually seen the show are like getting so big over it. They're becoming bandwagons of the show, and I hate it. That's
It's
I
it's
love.
on Netflix.
I know, but like I'm just
I
saying,
get
like
his point. I get your point, 100%. And to help that method, I will also speak to older shows that I've already chosen in this segment. The jokes move on with time. Friends, unfortunately, is a '90s show that has to stay in the '90s because the jokes don't make sense now, or they can be offensive to stuff today. And that's
Mhm.
the other bad thing is when we're looking at this, we have to look at this as what would happen if today you chose to watch blah blah blah, not edit it, not refresh it, nothing, original episode, and go, oof, this might be a little offensive now. For me, Friends, '90s show that has to stay in the '90s. Also, unfortunately, what I have to agree with, which is why I did not want this clean sweep last time, Saved by the Bell is unfortunately right in that category as well for me. I do not think that that is a show that can happen now the way it was then.
No.
So sorry for that rant. I just hate how like people younger than us are patronizing the show like they've watched it when it was out.
Right.
Like they know all the lines, they know all the jokes and the quirky shit about it. Like, no, it, again, it's a great show, but man, Superstore is hilarious. It's just
Hey man, clean
it
sweep
makes
on Superstore,
sense.
man.
I love Superstore. It's so
Love
funny.
Superstore.
Like you wouldn't like when Jared first brought the show idea. It's like the like first brought it to me about watching. I was like, I was kind of iffy about it, and then I started watching it, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get how you like it. It's funny. I love it. And then I literally binge watched it in one whole day.
It's funny because
You're in,
I knew about it. I knew about it for a while, and I didn't watch it because I'm like, you know what, dude? Superstore is so generic. It's just gonna be another generic show about people working in a store, and it's gonna be boring. But then I watched it, and I was like, I love the show. Now I haven't missed an episode. I love it so much. So Superstore, clean sweep there. Next one. This one's gonna be a little hard for me. I don't know about you guys, but this is gonna be hard for me. The Golden Girls versus Law and Order SVU. Brandon, you can start.
CSI is still a better show. Golden Girls.
Okay. Aaron, go ahead.
um, I've never seen Golden Girls.
Uh,
Really, dude? For real?
uh,
I
at
like
least
I've
one
heard of it,
episode.
but like I haven't seen it.
One
I know
Not
episode.
one
Betty.
episode.
I know Betty White's in it.
That's
That's
it.
all I know.
That's it. That's it.
That's
I
it.
mean,
Wow. Jared is
I've
putting
never
you on the
seen it,
That's
so I
spot.
all.
can't really. I've never seen it, so I can't really talk about it now, can I? No. SVU, man, it's such a great show. The early seasons are great. Ice T, man, he kills it in the show. Mariska
I'm
Hargitay, Chris. Come on, like how do
I
you get better than that? Law and
I
Order SVU.
I
Stamp my
personally
vote.
I personally prefer ice cubes over iced tea.
Jesus. Um,
You can count on me for these dry jokes.
I guess you are a dad, my dude. You have that dad sense of humor.
Yeah, I do.
He
We
just
don't
wears it
know
like a
what that's
bat.
like because we don't have kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, oh wow.
So I've seen. I don't know if I've seen every episode, but I've seen most episodes of Golden Girls. Uh, my mom liked it, so I watched it with her. Obviously, huge Law and Order SVU fan again. Mom was a huge fan of it, so I became a huge fan of it. Um, I don't know, man. It's hard, man. Jeez, I don't know.
Oh no,
I like both shows, but I don't know.
oh man. See,
I
now you know how I feel when I have to do the tiebreaker. You know how I feel now.
Yeah, but at least I've seen Golden Girls.
Oh,
You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna have to go Law and Order SVU just because I feel like it's a better show. Yeah,
Plus,
100%.
it's like it's realistic in a sense where they take real life stories and incorporate them into a show,
Yes.
which is interesting to me. I mean, I love SVU, so
All right. So the next one we have is Star Trek versus Family Ties. Uh, I guess I'll start this one. I've never seen Family Ties. I have seen a little bit of Star Trek. Obviously, I'm a huge nerd for anything that's in space, so Star Trek gets my vote. Aaron, you can go ahead and go next.
I've never seen any of them.
Oh,
I've never seen either of these shows.
If you were here right now, I would smack you so hard.
I believe it.
Ow!
So
I did
hard.
it for you.
So hard.
Um, but I'd have to go Star Trek.
All right. Brandon, clean sweep.
It is going to be a clean sweep, but I am going to give a shout out to Michael J. Fox for everything he does. I
Yeah.
greatly appreciate his success and love Back to the Future to death. And I know that he was doing Family Ties while doing Back to the Future, so you can make an argument which made him more famous. Obviously, I would say Back to the Future. So I'm going to say Star Trek wins in a landslide, but give a little shout out to Michael J. Fox.
He was also in Scrubs. Just want to
He
point that
He
out.
was.
was also in
Yep.
Teen Wolf.
Uh,
He also
so
has
Nick,
Parkinson's.
he does. So
So does Ozzy Osbourne, but
let's just
that's
start
not.
naming
Ozzy?
stuff.
Ozzy?
Uh,
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
I said Ozzy Osbourne.
There was a D in there.
Uh,
No, there was no D. I don't have a
okay.
list.
All right. All right. Moving on. So we have
Ooh.
Freaks and Geeks versus The Office. Brandon, do you want to go ahead and start?
I'll start it. This is going to be a big argument for me, just because Office is another show that I feel like the more into the show's comedy you can be, the more you enjoy it. When I was younger and The Office was really popular, I didn't get the humor. I loved the characters that were there. I loved the actors that were there, but I didn't really get the comedy. Freaks and Geeks, however, if we're gonna go with cultural impact and how many stars was made from this TV show, Freaks and Geeks for me has to take it in a landslide because we're talking about great comedy actors like Seth Rogen. I believe what's his face, James Franco was also in it for a
James
little while.
Franco.
We're talking
Linda
about
Carlini,
yeah. We're
or
oh god,
however say
I
her
love
last name.
I love Cardellini. Um, we're talking
Velma and
about
Scooby Doo.
yes,
It's
easy,
Velma. Samantha
easy,
Grayson from
Jinkies.
Grandma's Boy.
But let's be honest here. Freaks and Geeks made more stars and more stars came from it. And for me, even though I think now if I were to watch The Office, I would enjoy it more, I just remember enjoying Freaks and Geeks. So I'm going to go Freaks.
So I'm gonna go next because I want to put my 2 cents out on it. So obviously, Office, great show. But I agree. If we're going cultural touchstone, obviously, Freaks and Geeks made more careers. Not only the people on screen, but also the people off screen. Judd Apatow became a huge star after this. It's set in southern Michigan. Um, it's actually based off of Judd Apatow and his friends' lives while they were living in Michigan. Um, I obviously
A lot
love
of
The Office.
a lot of
Uh,
great shows and movies have been set in Michigan.
Very true. Um,
I'll talk about that when it's my turn.
uh, I love the character, but if we're talking more impactful, gotta go Freaks and Geeks.
Clean sweep for Freaks and Geeks. Back
That's
to Jared was
surprising.
saying, how Freaks and Geeks set in Michigan. There's a lot of great shows. Like, Freaks and Geeks is a great show, not just because it's set in Michigan. We're not biased towards Michigan all the time, but
I
it,
mean,
it just
we can
it
be.
just brought a cultural phenomenon, and like it made you think. it made you think. Sorry.
I I did
Like
not think.
another good work set in Michigan, American Pie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did not think that was going to be a
It
clean
was
sweep.
filmed in Michigan too.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Um,
was Freaks and Geeks. It was filmed in
yeah.
Southern Michigan.
There was also a movie, James Franco and Bryan Cranston. I forgot the name of it. I saw it in theaters, and it was filmed in Michigan. 30 Minutes or Less was also filmed in Michigan
It
with
was. Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the movie with James Franco and Bryan Cranston.
Oh,
Where
isn't
he
it? Oh
it's
man.
the one where he's marrying his daughter,
I know. I know the
and
movie.
it's
I own it. I
yeah.
can't think of the name of it now.
I saw it in theaters, and then like we saw one of the streets, and we're like, "That's Grand Rapids." I mean, come on. I'll look it
I
up.
can't think of it.
I'm gonna look it up. Um,
Brandon, you had something to say?
No, I was just saying that I did not expect that to be a clean sweep. Let's be honest here. The
I
Office is
love,
a big
dude,
show.
I love Freaks and Geeks. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Why Him. Why
Why
Him
him?
is the
That's
name
right.
of
Yeah.
it.
I
Why
have
him?
Yeah,
not seen that yet.
dude.
I need to see that.
Oh, dude, it's
I
hilarious.
Yeah.
Obviously 8 Mile. I'm gonna throw 8 Mile out there because
Well,
basic
obviously,
Michigan.
8 Mile. It's a street in Detroit. It's called Eight
Just
Mile. Of course, it's going
just
to be filmed in Michigan.
just wanted to throw that out there. One of my favorite movie of all time.
I think it's fake though, because I mean I don't remember seeing hardcore pawn on those, so I don't think it's real.
It is. Stop it.
Hardcore Pawn,
Stop it.
Hardcore Pawn is in Detroit. They just don't make
It's in.
any.
It's more in the city, not an 8 Mile.
But
Mhm.
but they're actually like right off of 8 Mile. They
Yeah,
make that joke several times. So I'm like 8 Mile's got to be fake because hardcore pawn is there, and I never saw that in the movie.
Stop it. So
you
next
don't
up,
see all of Detroit in 8 Mile.
we have Seinfeld versus SNL. Aaron, you can start.
Ooh, putting me in a tough position, and it's not even the tiebreaker.
Wow.
Okay, Seinfeld, a great show. I enjoy it. It can be bland sometimes, but
It
that's
is a
okay.
show about nothing.
Yeah, it's more like a go with the flow type show. Hey, that rhymed.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then you have Saturday Night Live, which, in my opinion, gets funnier every time. I've never seen like the original episodes of SNL, like from like the first maybe like 10 seasons,
Yeah.
but like I've seen bits and pieces of it. Chris Farley was so good on SNL. David Spade, Adam Sandler. SNL made stars,
True.
lots of them. And then
Uh.
they would have guest hosts and stuff, and they would be more famous because of that.
Yeah.
Um, Andy Samberg. It's just a long list of stars. Plus, the musical performances were so good, minus the Ashley Simpson one. That's the one we don't like to talk about.
That's
I
right.
argue that was the best one.
No.
Uh,
Not by far. No. Stop it.
she didn't even
It was
perform.
it was better than Katy Perry's flossing.
True. You're not wrong there.
Uh, yeah, I'll say that. But SNL just made so many stars, and it's so funny. Plus, when like things happen in the real world, they bring it into Saturday Night Live and they make it funny.
Yeah.
Like it's so great. SNL, man, in my opinion, has to move on.
Brandon, go ahead.
This one's going to be a no-brainer for me. Seinfeld was also in the same category for me with uh, all those sitcom shows in the 90s that I just wasn't a fan of. It's odd that Married with Children is one of my favorite shows of all time because that was
Yeah.
easily a sitcom like fantastically made. But I'm actually not the biggest fan of sitcoms. SNL, however, no matter what you put against Saturday Night Live, specifically a sitcom, we're talking about sketch comedy at its best. I love sketch comedies, and the best times that it fails is when it's live and it makes everybody laugh because they can't hold it together. You
Yeah.
can't write that. And
And
since we already, what's up?
that's when you break.
Yeah,
That's when you
and
break.
and I love In Living Color, but since that got knocked out, I don't want sketch comedy to be left out of this tournament. I'm gonna go Saturday Night Live.
And that's gonna be a clean sweep. I like SNL. Uh, it did. If we're going with cultural touchdowns, obviously made like over half the movie stars we've had in the last 40
Bill
years.
Hader. I totally forgot about Bill Hader.
I
He
mean,
was
there's
hilarious.
so many people, man.
Oh yeah, Steve
John
Martin,
Belushi, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd, uh, you know, all the people from
Chevy Chase,
National Lampoon.
Chevy
Um,
Chase.
obviously, well, he was in part of National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Um, you have Andy Samberg, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy would not be anything today if it wasn't for SNL.
No,
Um,
most of these stars would not be anything if it wasn't for Saturday Night Live to
no.
get their foot in the door. Um, Edie Bryant, Vanessa Bayer,
Kate
Kristen Wiig,
McKinnon.
Kate. Dude, I love Kate McKinnon. She's
Everyone loves
hilarious.
Kate McKinnon. She's great.
Um, Leslie Jones. She can
Yeah.
be funny sometimes. She's just somewhat annoying to me. She,
I
she
think
tries. She she tries to be too funny, and it kind of doesn't work.
I think it has to be the right role. We're not gonna get into this.
Yeah.
Right? No.
SNL clean sweep. Um, next up we have 30 Rock versus the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Um, Brandon, do you want to start?
Absolutely. Now, ironically, I know 30 Rock is based around Saturday Night Live and the whole Rockefeller Plaza, but I've actually never seen the show. I know that of the actors that are on it, obviously the best of Saturday Night Live with Alec Baldwin and his great hosting, and of course Tina Fey. But I'm sorry, you can't compete against um, Will Smith's fantastic role in The Fresh Prince. This goes back to my sitcomming. I was not a fan of Fresh Prince when I was younger, but I don't disagree that it is a fantastic show, and I would actually pick Fresh Prince over 30 Rock easily.
So you're going Fresh Prince?
I'm going Fresh.
Okay. I'm going next. So yes. So 30 Rock is 30 Rockefeller Plaza is where SNL is taped. Um, and it is about SNL. I think it's about Tina Fey's time on SNL. As a writer, and she's in the show. Alec Baldwin's in the show. Tracy Morgan's on the show, which another SNL guy. Um, I like Fresh Prince. I don't think I got a lot of. I still don't think I get a lot of the humor. Since it's such a '90s show, and I don't think I get a lot of the humor from it. Um, but I get 30 Rock. I like it. And I don't know about you guys, but I've always wanted to be Jack Donaghy, so I'm going with 30 Rock. So Eric, back in the position you love, buddy.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. All right. Oh, I've actually never seen 30 Rock. I've heard of it. I've heard it's good. Again, never seen an episode of it. I love The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Great show. Um, Will Smith, great actor. Not much really to say about the show. It brought a lot of controversy sometimes too. But Fresh Prince, man, I'm sorry.
You both disappoint me.
I- I'll lay my head in shame.
You better. All right, so we're
I
switching
I
over
am.
to the
Damn, Sheva.
ABC ABC region. The first one we have up is Lost versus Scandal.
Mm.
Aaron, you can go ahead and start.
I've seen Lost. I like it, but Scandal is another show I've seen. That's the one with Kerry Washington, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Just making sure. I wasn't sure or not. Um, shut up. Um, Great show. I like it. My mom watches it, like, whenever she can. Same with SNL, or not. Same with SVU. SVU.
Stop it.
Well, could have done without
Scandal.
that.
It's my Scandal. My vote. Brandon, go.
Jared's trying not to die. Never seen Scandal. Are you good? Are you good?
I'm
What did
done.
I do?
No,
I
because you said SVU like SCU,
Yeah.
and Brandon's like, I could have done without that.
um, Scandal. Never seen it. Never really interested me as a show. Saw a couple trailers for it. Wasn't really interested. Lost. Was a huge show. I believe it was one of the top 10 most watched openings and debuts and constant watchers. I, however, did not get into Lost when I was a kid. I tried watching the first season. However, here's a little trivia for you, without spoiling it. There was a very short period of time. Very short, for good reason, that you could go to Netflix and you could watch shows and movies with trivia tracks. And I shit you not, the first episode of Lost, in the first 5 minutes, it told you what happened in the season finale,
Oh my
series finale.
god.
And literally, I watched like 8 episodes, and I was like, this hits differently when you know how it ends.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
for me, I'm gonna go with Lost. However, it's not gonna last long in the tournament for me because it's not one of my favorites.
Uh, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Lost as well. Um, Simply because I watched the first episode, which here's a trivia fact for you: the the pilot for Lost is the most expensive pilot ever made. So there you go. Um, and I never seen Scandal. I barely watched Lost. But I know what Lost is. It was on for like 10 years or something. So, Lost wins that one. Next up, we have Grey's Anatomy versus Shark Tank. I'll go first because I want to talk about this. I hate Grey's Anatomy with a burning passion. Um, it's not funny. It's barely dramatic. It's actually melodramatic, if I can say that. Um, I like Shark Tank because it's more of a reality show, and I've always liked that kind of reality show, not the where stuff is just kind of made to happen. So I'm going Shark Tank. Aaron, you can go next.
Um, I don't watch either Shark Tank or Grey's. Well, I've seen Grey's Anatomy. Um, it's okay. I mean, like you have to be really into it to watch it, really to like understand it. Um, but yeah, Shark Tank's realistic and it brings ideas out that you wouldn't think of
That's
when you
true.
look at it, and it's just like, interesting. And then you go and buy the product,
Yeah.
and not even remember, oh, hey, that was on Shark Tank. So I'm gonna go with Shark Tank.
Brandon, is this going to be a clean sweep? Oh,
Yeah, Brandon. Clean sweep.
uh, Brandon's computer crashed,
Oh, did it
and
really?
he said computer crash. I'll be back in less than a minute.
Okay.
Um,
We're just gonna
so
kill. We're just gonna kill a minute of time and.
that's right. Alrighty then.
SVU.
See you later. Uh, yeah. So this is what we do when we don't have, we have nothing to talk about at the
This
moment.
is what happens when we
Right.
have technical difficulties,
That's right.
which is like never. We never have technical difficulties.
Yeah, this like never happened.
That's good water.
Okay, so this is what Brendan told me to say for him. If you
Okay.
were a House fan, you hated Grays and vice versa. However, I was a huge House fan, never seen Shark Tank, but I'm gonna pick that over Grays easily. So it's a clean sweep for Shark Tank.
Ooh.
But he's right.
Okay.
He's right, man. If you were a House fan, Grey's Anatomy just could not live up to it. Just not at all.
No, I mean it was like it had great actors. It just didn't hit well, you know.
Right.
But like how again with House, great
Yeah.
actors. It hit well. It was funny. Hugh
Oh yeah.
Laurie is just such a great actor as Doctor House.
Yeah.
When
So
he
apparently,
like he'll when when he'll come into the room and like tell his patient something like completely ridiculous, you're like, what the fuck did he just say? And you'll laugh about it because it's funny and he makes it funny.
right. So apparently Hugh Laurie has another show where he's a doctor in it on Hulu called Chance.
Oh god.
Very, very odd. I haven't seen it yet, but it's
Does
Hugh Laurie, so it has to be good.
it has to be good, man. All
Has to be
right,
good.
Brandon, welcome back.
Sorry about
Welcome
that.
back.
That's okay.
Hope you
No,
made
you're
that
good.
comment for me.
I did. I did.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. I can vouch for him. I can vouch for you.
Fantastic. Sorry about that,
Uh,
guys.
all right. So the next
No,
one is the Wonder Years versus Max Headroom. Brandon, go ahead and start.
This one for me is going to be a little bit harder because I have not seen either of these shows, and I'm sorry about that. However, I am a huge pop culture guy. I know about both of them, and I remember only a little bit, but I remember hearing the impact that Max Headroom had on TV in general. It was very ahead of its time. Very interesting show. And the Wonder Years, I remember hearing was a very decisive show. Like you either love it or hate it, but you did not feel indifferent to it. And personally, I'm not a big Fred Savage fan, so I would probably, if I had both these shows in my hands right now to watch, I would probably pick Max Headroom because I'm more intrigued by the concept.
All right. I'm gonna go next, Aaron, if you don't mind.
go ahead. Go. I mean, even though it's my real cast, but you have full permission to go next.
So I also haven't seen either of these, but I know what Max Headroom is. There's actually a really good video by the YouTuber named Wang, Justin Wang. Um, he had a very good video about something that happened with a Max Headroom mask. It's very interesting. I suggest both of you go and watch it. Um, but right now we're listening to this. So um, Eminem actually in his Rap God video made a reference to Max Headroom in the beginning of his video. Um,
Mhm.
and I've never seen the Wonder Years. I keep hearing about it. I'm also not a huge Fred Savage fan. So I'm going Max Headroom, man. Yeah.
All right. I haven't seen Max Headroom. I've seen the Wonder. I've seen bits of the Wonder Years. It's like it reminds me of Boy Meets World. It's more like a coming of age TV
So
show
so it
about
sucks.
Boy Meets World does not suck.
It
Okay,
does suck.
I'll
It's
fight you
awful.
about this.
Let's
I will
go.
fight you on it. I'm literally watching Boy Meets World right now.
I'm watching
Okay.
Brooklyn
Well,
Nine-Nine.
I'm not watching it. It's paused, but I'm watching Boy Meets World because I love that show. I like the Wonders. Fred Savage is okay. He's alright. Um, but Max Headroom, man, I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna go clean sweep, I guess.
Um, Fred Savage, I think, is best in the Deadpool Christmas movie. Oh god, that was funny. I'm almost crying because of how funny that was. So the next one we have is The Bachelor versus Marvel's The Agents of Shield. Aaron, you can go ahead and go first.
Marvel Agents of Shield, no cap, no explanation. Next.
Brandon.
Um, well, I'm gonna stretch this out a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Bachelor is terrible. Marvel Agents of Shield's better. I said I was gonna stretch out a little bit.
I agree. Marvel Shield wins.
And we're not sorry. We're not sorry for that.
No, because I'm going to save my explanation of why I love Agents of Shield for a better show.
All right, so we have Dancing with the Stars versus a $6 million man. Brandon, you can go ahead and go first.
This one's actually a tough choice because Dancing with the Stars is a very interesting show for people who just love celebrities. And watching celebrities, much like Masked Singer, it's interesting to see celebrities do stuff that they are not comfortable with and see them either fail or succeed. That being said, I'm not a fan of dancing shows, man. And the $6 Million Man was a cultural impacting show. That one came out around the same time as such hits as can't think of the one, Knight Rider and The Incredible Hulk, and we're talking about classic shows that hit just the right interesting notes for you to sit there and go, I can't wait for next week's episode. Now, that being said, I've never seen the $6 Million Man. Of course, I know the concept. And once again, if we're going back to my number one reason of what would I pick, is if you set these shows in front of me, what would I watch right now? And I would easily, no doubt, watch the entire series of the $6 Million Man before I would watch one episode of Dancing with the Stars.
All right. Aaron, go ahead and go next.
I haven't seen Dancing with the Stars. I know some of the celebrities that have been on it. Chris Jericho. Uh,
Nikki Bella,
I think that's how she met her.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, if it wasn't for Dancing with the Stars, Nikki Bella wouldn't be pregnant.
I mean, I guess. Is that a good
I'm,
thing?
I don't know. I don't like Dancing with the Stars. I think it's pretty cool to see celebrities having a good time, making an ass of themselves. Sometimes. I've never seen the $6 Million Man, but it seems like a good show to watch. So I'm gonna go $6 Million Man.
All right. Well, this is not going to be a clean sweep because
Uh,
I actually do enjoy Dancing with the Stars sometimes when it's like people that I actually know. Um,
you would.
it's fun to watch, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's interesting, but it's just like not a show you want to sit and watch every hour of the day.
You can't. In my opinion, you cannot binge watch a show like that. In my opinion,
Oh, Masked Singer. I could binge watch that all day.
I
Tell
mean,
that
I
to my
haven't.
mother. Okay, she could sit there and binge watch that entire series from
Jared, hey,
beginning
hey,
to now.
Jared. She's a nice lady. Leave her out of this.
Fine. My mom doesn't listen to this. She's really not that nice. But
I mean, she hasn't done anything to me, so I'll be all right with
All right,
that.
Only when she wants to be.
that's true.
I
So
feel like you've
next
seen that.
I have. So the next two is Twin Peaks versus Doogie Howser. I'm gonna go first because I'm gonna say I haven't seen either of these shows, but I know that Doogie Howser was uh Neil
Neil
Patrick
Patrick
Harris's
Harris.
first show. I want to call him Barney for some reason. A
Barney.
guy by his name.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be dealing with Barney later.
That's true. So, and I know Twin Peaks. I know they kind of redid it. Um, not that long ago, a couple years, I think, and it looked like an interesting kind of show. So you know what? I'm gonna go Twin Peaks. Brandon, go ahead and go next.
For me, I'm not, and I don't hate, but I'm actually not a huge fan of Neil Patrick Harris. There's a couple things that I enjoy seeing him in, like Harold and Kumar, and his cameos in Harold and Kumar and Men Ways to Die in the West. But that's because it's a small dose of him. I am not a big fan of NPH. However, that's not why I'm going to pick Twin Peaks over. I actually do really enjoy Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is something that anybody that likes a good mystery, that likes Stephen King novels, and if you're a fan of his movies, like with It Chapter 2 and all those types of things, it makes you think. It's a dark and disturbing show, way more than X Files ever was, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, even current day events like Supernatural and Grimm. Twin Peaks was their first, way more interesting show.
All right. So Aaron, is this gonna be a clean sweep or
I've never seen Twin Peaks, but I
neither have
have
I?
seen. I've seen Doogie Howser, MD. I love Doogie Howser, man. I love Neil Patrick Harris is a great actor.
I agree.
I'm going with Doogie Howser.
All right. So next we have So we have the original Batman show from the '60s
Ooh.
with Adam West versus Single Parents. Aaron, go ahead and go first.
Hmm. I love the original Batman. Single Parents, great show. Taron Killam, another great SNL alumni.
True.
I totally forgot about Taron Killam. Um, but man, this is tough because Adam West was a great actor, especially in Batman. Yes, Batman was somewhat cheesy sometimes, but that was that was okay during that time of television. But man, Single Parents, man, takes my vote.
All right. Brandon, go ahead and go next.
And I feel terrible at this because I love Taron Killam. I've actually never heard of this show. Like this is the first time I've ever like heard of this show,
Really?
and yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a commercial or trailer or anything about this show, so I feel bad.
Oh man, it's
So
on Hulu.
it's
I
on
watched it
Hulu.
on
Yeah,
Hulu. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. However, I'm gonna
definitely.
go. I'm gonna go with Batman because Adam West, he personified TV shows at that point with a strange TV show with Batman, and I can't think of many TV shows around that time that did the same thing. Of everybody just kind of wanted to see what happened next. The old find out next time on Dragon Ball Z kind of thing. You know, you just kind of want to keep seeing what Batman was up to,
Yep.
and Adam West and Fred Ward, fantastic, fantastic show. Never heard of Single Parents. I apologize. I'm gonna go Batman just because of that.
So obviously, I'm a huge Batman fan. I grew up watching the Batman Beyond and Justice League and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I loved Christopher Nolan's movie, The Dark Knight. Um, you know, grew up loving Batman. But the thing about it is, Batman back then was just like Aaron said, completely cheesy. You know, because that's how the comic books were back then. Um, which is kind of weird to think about.
Mm.
Uh, they actually used to be super violent when they first came out, and then the Comics Code came in and said you couldn't have any of these in kids' comic books, and then eventually it became what it is today. But obviously Adam West, you know, basically was like just throughout my entire life was always in everything. He was in Fairly Odd Parents as Catman, which I think is pretty funny. Um, he's in Family Guy or he was a Family Guy before he passed away. Mayor Adam West, and he's in so much. He's in so much. So even though I love Adam West, I think Single Parents has Taron Killam, Leighton Meester, and Brad Garrett, three great actors. I have to go with Single Parents.
Yes. Up next, we have Modern
Wait,
Family.
hold on. Which is another show I got Aaron into.
Yeah. First, you got me into Superstore, then you got me into Single Parents.
That's right.
Up next, we have Modern Family against Ugly Betty.
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Just like that.
Just like that, man.
I'm
Modern
sorry.
Family. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll go clean.
Not a fan of Ugly Betty.
Okay. Up next, we have what region we on now?
The CBS. CBS region.
All right. The first matchup we have is Everybody Loves Raymond against the Incredible Hulk.
Please let me go first.
Brandon, go first.
Thank God. Okay. I wish this was gonna be another oh my God, I hate sitcoms thing. And it totally is. I can't stand Everybody Loves Raymond. This is my least favorite. This is my least favorite
It's
sitcom.
better than Seinfeld.
It is my least favorite sitcom of the 90s. 100% stamp, dropped, done. Can't stand it. However, I've seen every episode of The Incredible Hulk. Oh my God, I lived and breathed this for like a summer a couple years ago because I got the box set with all the episodes. And it is, if you haven't, any of our viewers, either of you two, if you've never gone through the entire series, you can't appreciate how much hard work was put into that TV show for something that should have failed immediately after the pilot. It was so good. The stories, Lou Ferrigno actually enduring pain, doing the makeup and the green skin. That was not safe for him to do at all. And so not only for me is it such an easy choice, but we're talking about one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Incredible Hulk versus something I hate with a passion. So yeah, no, Hulk for me, bud.
Aaron, go ahead and go next.
I've never seen The Incredible Hulk. Everybody Loves Raymond is such a great show. It's better than Seinfeld, my opinion. I love Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm gonna go Everybody Loves Raymond.
So I've actually seen not the show, but the movie, The Death of the Incredible Hulk, with Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk.
Great movie.
So I understand why people like that show. However, I grew up watching Everybody Loves Raymond when I was a kid. Every single night when we ate dinner, we'd all sit around the TV and watch Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. Everyone loves Raymond and all those shows that came on. And
before you make your choice, may I point out one more thing?
Sure.
We knocked out Batman, and I don't see anybody else anywhere else in this bracket for superhero TV shows, which is a huge big deal right now in our current events. It will be a travesty when you inevitably pick Raymond over Hulk for the simple fact that there is no love for this.
Look, it's the same reason why I didn't pick Batman. It's just super cheese. Super cheese. And I'm not a fan of cheese. I'm not. Everybody loves ranch.
Not everybody.
Everybody hates Chris.
Not everybody. I did enjoy that show too.
All right. So next up, we have NCIS versus Yes Dear. Can I start? Do you guys mind if I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't like NCIS. I am completely biased towards this, and that's why I set it up this way with these two at least, because I hate NCIS. It's like the worst show ever. Yeah, but I didn't watch Yes Dear on CBS. I watched it on TBS years later, and I love Yes Dear. Like it was like one of my favorite shows as a preteen. So I'm going Yes Dear.
Who's next?
Up to Aaron.
Brandon, you can go.
Okay, for me, we are talking about the sitcom with Brad Garrett, right?
No,
No, that's not this
no,
one. That's
no.
also the Raymond, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. He's
I
he's
fucking
Raymond's older brother.
oh, that's hilarious. I hated Brad Garrett, which is why I was like, oh shit, is this Brad Garrett?
You
Which
don't like
one's
Brad
this one?
Garrett?
No, no, no. Okay, so here, let me clarify. I don't like Brad Garrett as an actor. I love him as a voice actor.
Okay.
I do not like Brad Garrett as an actor. I don't think he has the chops for it because of the way his normal personality is. Like he's very stoic, but
Right.
in his voice he has range, which is strange. That rhymed. Which one is Yes Dear? Can you remind me?
So Greg Warner, a successful businessman in the film industry, and Kim Warner, his level-headed stay-at-home wife, do their best to be perfect parents to their young son Sammy and later daughter Emily. Things become difficult when Kim's sister Christine and her husband Jimmy move into the Warners' guest house, where their two rambunctious boys Dominic and Logan.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up a page. See what this. I don't think. Oh man, Michael Malley. I love Michael Malley.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of this show. I
Oh,
honestly don't think
really?
I've heard of it. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's very
Oh,
surprising
it's
to me too.
it has.
I go for it.
I just went on YouTube to look it up, and on one of the thumbnails, it has the guy who played Mr. Mosby from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Hmm.
Oh, is he in
He's
there?
on.
Phil Lewis?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, for me,
Season 6, episode 5 says.
yeah.
Oh,
I also am not a huge fan of NCIS. Out of all the crime dramas is what I'll call it. The I know there's a better genre name for it, but in my opinion, um, having Mike O'Malley is a great thing. But I've never ever heard of this show, and I feel bad about it. I'm gonna go NCIS only because I've never heard of Yes Dear. So I'm gonna give respect to it, but I
all
have
right.
to pick NCIS.
Okay. Aaron?
I've never seen Yes Dear, but I've seen NCIS. Yes Dear seems like a really cool show to check
It's
out.
so
I
funny.
I will I will definitely look into it. It ran for 6 seasons, so that's
It
that's
did.
gotta be a record. Gotta be impressive, not a record. NCIS still going strong with also their adaptations. I love NCIS. I'm gonna go with NCIS, but I will definitely check out that show. Yes, dear.
Yeah, totally, man. It is a really good show. Like I said, I watched it when I was younger. Actually, it was on TBS like all the time, like every day during early afternoon.
Mhm.
So I watched that all the
Up
time.
up next, we have The Big Bang Theory against CSI. Ooh, Brandon, you get to go first.
I feel terrible about this.
Oh, jeez.
I
Oh
feel terrible
God.
about this.
Oh
I have
God.
been told for years that I need to get into the Big Bang Theory, and I've just never had time. I've never seen an episode of Big Bang Theory. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows my personality. Everybody keeps telling me this show would be right up my alley. I just never had time to see it. And you're putting it against a show that basically, Jared, you said you watched 24 and what was the other show you said you watched every week that it came on with your mom? Because I felt like it's
Grandma
another
house.
House. Yeah.
It was
So
house.
this for me is like that. CSI when it first came out, my mom was huge into Law and Order and all that, and I don't like Law and Order. But for some reason, when I watched the first couple of episodes of CSI, it was so interesting to me, even at a young age, because CSI came out what, like 2000, 2001?
Something like that, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I was I was like 9 or 10, and I'm watching as they show this woman who has like this disgusting disease on her tit that kills her, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on with this?" And my mom's like, "Are you cool with watching this?" I'm like, "Yeah, this fucking looks great. Let me watch this." And and I just watched it, and I was so entranced with the investigations and the overall what do you call it, the science behind it. I was so entranced in it versus Law and Order, who is, straightforward. Crime happened here, we don't know who did it, we're going to investigate it. There's no science behind it. They just look for clues, and they're just like, boom, here you go, we're going to go to court about it. For CSI, just like NCIS, which is why I ultimately picked NCIS over it, even though I agree I don't like it. CSI is something that I do enjoyed at the first time it came out. I would go with CSI over Big Bang Theory only because I have not seen it and I need to. I understand.
Can I go second?
Yeah. Make me
So
the tiebreaker.
I am too. So I'm gonna defend Law and Order because they're not the crime scene investigation. They're police. They do detective work. That's my only defense for that. So I don't like CSI. I actually despise it.
I'll leave it here.
And I saw The Big Bang Theory. I like the first few seasons, and then it turned to crap like instantly. I don't know what happened. I don't like that show anymore. Um, the rest of the seasons just turned me off from all of it. But I hate CSI more, so I'm going Big Bang Theory. All right, Aaron, it's all you,
All
buddy.
right. Oh God. My favorite spot. My favorite spot. The
Been here like 10 times
tiebreaker.
now. There's like this
Oh,
entire podcast.
just this whole first round. It's nothing but me doing the tiebreaker.
That's right.
Okay. CSI is okay. I like CSI Miami more than the original CSI.
Sure.
Again, with your argument
Yeah!
about
Oh,
about uh CSI and Law and Order detective work. CSI obviously crime scene investigation.
right. Which is what it
Um,
stands for.
exactly. Kind of like what CSI kind of reminds me of Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
So, and I love Criminal Minds. That's like my favorite show, like detective style show.
That's hilarious that you bring that up because I was just about to mention why is that show not on this? Because if we're
Yeah.
talking about all the crime dramas, Criminal Minds has got to be not only the top, but it at
The
least got to
winner
be on the
of the.
list.
But
But
I am
but
going
it's
with
not
I.
it's not one of the better performing shows.
It
I.
I disagree, sir. Oh
With
my God, we're gonna make a competition about a show that's not even on the list. Oh
with
hell
with with,
no.
with
All right.
all of
Let's.
these though,
We
I mean,
will.
come on.
We will get into Criminal Minds later. For now, I used to hate The Big Bang Theory. Like when I first heard of it, I thought it was like the dumbest idea of a show ever. Then I started to watch it later, and I was like, okay, this show's. For a second, I thought my dad was watching Big Bang Theory for a second.
That would have been hilarious.
I thought I heard the Big Bang Theory theme song, but I think he's watching American Dad. But I love the Big Bang Theory, so I'm sorry, Brandon. Big Bang Theory it's got to move on.
I want to make a note that my girlfriend right now is listening to this podcast, and she is fuming about
Why?
the conversation that Criminal Minds isn't on the list.
Oh my god.
You are in trouble, Jared. The next time we have a wrestling match, the next time you have a wrestling match, she might be involved.
I'm waiting for it.
Let it
Oh,
Up next, we have Rules of Engagement against MASH. Jared, do the honors.
So I like both of these shows. Liz actually got me into MASH, so yeah. But I've been watching Rules of Engagement around the same time I've been watching Yes Dear, because they came out like right after each other. And Rules of Engagement has Patrick Warburton or George Swanson from Family Guy. Peter. David Spade. I don't need to say what he's from because he's like everything, and he's like one of the biggest stars on the show.
Another great SNL alumni.
True. I love both of these shows, but unfortunately, I have to go with Rules of Engagement because I think it's better.
I will go with Rules of Engagement as well. I've never seen MASH, but I love Rules of Engagement. It's hilarious. It's great. I love it. Rules of Engagement.
MASH is on Hulu, so anyone who wants to watch it, Aaron, I suggest go watching it. Yeah.
I will also put out that this is going to be a clean sweep, but just like Family Ties, I'm going to give respect to MASH because it was another big time TV show that made people tune in and watch on a weekly basis. However, not one of my favorites, and Rules of Engagement just had more good actors that I loved.
Weird because you hate sitcoms, and that's
I
what
do.
Rules of Engagement is.
But I love David Spade. Like he's the one man I'd go gay for. You understand?
Not Patrick Warburton.
No, he seems like he'd be too tough in bed.
Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove.
Wrong lever, Kronk.
Come on.
You opened that joke. I wasn't gonna, and then you were like, after I made the bed joke, you were like, "You're talking about Kronk?" It's like, yes, wrong lever.
You're welcome. Let's continue here. Okay. Up next, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you spelled engagement wrong, I guess.
Yeah, dude, I don't care.
Engagement, if you're right.
It's engagement now.
For good reason.
Move on.
I can't. Right. It's hard.
Up next, shut up, everyone. We have 2.5 Men against the Twilight Zone.
Oh, man, that's tough.
I want to go first.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to make a case for both of these.
Okay.
2.5 Men, obviously, a really good show before Charlie Sheen left. Again, watched it all the time when I was younger. I loved it. I love Charlie Sheen. John Cryer is obviously amazing. Jake T. Austin, amazing.
Wrong person. Jake T. Austin wasn't in it. It was Angus T. Jones.
Angus T. Jones, that's right. You know what I meant, though. You know who I meant.
Wrong channel, bud.
I know. I know. We talked about him earlier. And but hilarious show, another sitcom, but still funny. Um, and it's one of those shows that anyone can get into at any point.
Mhm.
Uh, the Twilight Zone obviously is not that way, but it's interesting. It's it really makes you think. It's really engaging, and the twist at the end of them, amazing. I'm gonna have to go Twilight Zone.
What?
Yeah, definitely Twilight Zone.
What?
Yep.
You swerved me. You swerved us.
Did I?
Yes, you were talking about how great Two and a Half Men was, and then you just choose the.
But I also talked about how great Twilight Zone was.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk.
Aaron, why don't you go
No, no, no,
next?
no, Brandon, you can go. You can go
Are you
next.
are you sure?
Positive, positive. I want to hear what
Okay,
you got to
all right.
say.
All right. It's easy. I don't like sitcoms. I don't know if you guys heard this. But I actually really enjoyed Two and a Half Men. I actually
Really?
enjoyed it. I'm actually a big Charlie Sheen fan.
For not liking sitcoms, you like a lot of sitcoms. Like
I
that's
don't.
odd.
I don't. I don't like sitcoms. I don't know what you're talking about.
You do
I
like
have
Fresh Prince. Come
I
on.
have nope, let me clarify. I did not love Fresh Prince. However, I could watch a couple of episodes and be cool with it. I did not love Fresh Prince. I
Well, you
think Will
didn't
Smith
hate it.
I didn't hate it. No.
So
Um
that's my point. You didn't hate it.
yeah, like if Family Matters was on here, I would also love that show too. But that doesn't matter. We're not talking about what I love and hate, like sitcoms. I hate. Um, with Two and a Half Men, I love Charlie Sheen and the jokes. Just they were just fantastic in my humble opinion. I'm gonna go Twilight Zone.
Nice.
All right.
That's why I was like,
Well,
Aaron, you need to go. You need to go.
um, I'm going Two and a Half Men, man, because I feel like I could only watch Twilight Zone while stoned to really get it.
Don't ever watch it stoned.
No, that's a bad idea.
You would not. You would be
No.
lost, like completely lost.
Yeah, you would
I
be
feel like
calling 911 on
Yes.
a nightly basis.
You would not know what was happening at all.
No, you could do that
You
with Two and a Half Men. That'd be easy. Like
yeah, totally. I mean, it seems like everyone who wrote on that show was stoned.
yeah, Charlie Sheen did it.
Yeah, he
fun
was
fact about Charlie Sheen,
snorting cocaine.
he was actually supposed to be in the Mighty Ducks, but denied the role. So
What
his
is your
brother could
obsession
take the role.
with the Mighty Ducks?
I, I grew up with the Mighty Ducks, okay?
We have to get to the root of this issue.
It's not an
I don't.
issue.
I don't think there's an issue because I'm actually really looking forward to the Mighty Ducks reboot or
Thank
continuation.
you.
Okay, but you don't
Yes,
bring it up
so,
every
so
second, every chance you get.
He does. I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'm also going to point out like I'm actually really excited. So
Like it's a lot. Like why do you know so much about the Mighty Ducks?
because I'm a huge fan, okay?
I love Emilio Estevez. Like if I had a
Charlie
choice,
Sheen's brother. Charlie
I know,
Sheen's
I
brother.
know. If I had a choice, I would easily pick Emilio as the better brother, but I love Charlie Sheen too.
Thank
So
you. Thank you. Emilio's the better brother. Gordon Bombay. Thank you very much. Next.
boy, Jesus.
You see what
I'm
I
sorry,
mean?
Jared. I am sorry, Jared. I didn't mean to feed into him like that, but I was just making a statement.
Quack, quack,
Uh,
quack.
Oh
Next we
God.
have Medium versus Mom. Brandon, go ahead and go.
I hold on. Let me get a second here to look up the mom one. I think I don't. I'm not sure if I knew that one or not.
Oh, that's the
It's
one with Anna
Anna
Faris
Faris.
and Allison Janney.
And yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's
I
actually
don't.
pretty good.
Yeah, I don't. That's not what I've heard, but I see it's made by the same creator of Two and a Half Men, so it's a
Yep.
sitcom. So I'm already
Yep.
out. We're gonna go
Oh,
medium.
come on. Give
Oh,
me a
gonna go-
try.
I like Patricia Arquette. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go medium.
You
I'm
like
going-
Patricia Arquette?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the first thing you saw Patricia Arquette in?
Oh, you ready for this? You ready for this knowledge?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream
Nightmare on Elm
Warriors.
Street 3. Yes, you right. You right. There's some
Oh, wait,
knowledge
really?
right there. Yep. Dream
She's
Warriors is my
she's the main
favorite.
she's the heroine in Dream
Yeah.
Warriors.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, that
Oh, no, never mind. It was somebody else I was thinking of. Never mind.
yeah,
you were
no,
thinking
that-
of Heather, weren't you? You were thinking of the girl that played Nancy, aren't you?
No.
Oh,
oh no.
I'm
But
going
no,
with
no.
Mom.
Ah,
Mhm.
shoot.
Mhm.
what?
Yeah, Mom is a great show.
I agree.
100%.
My first for Mom.
Mom.
I love Anna
Ah,
Faris.
Mom
She's
wins.
hilarious. Wasn't she on SNL too?
No.
No.
She was a
No?
scary movie.
Yeah, she was on the Scary Movies.
She would fit easily. She would fit on
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
Yeah, she
for
would.
sure.
The next up we have The Mentalist versus Man with a Plan featuring
Man with a
Joey. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go with Man with a Plan. Matt LeBlanc.
Okay, Brian Kendrick.
Oh, jeez. The Brian Kendrick.
Another sitcom. So I know Brandon's already out.
We already know Brandon's gonna vote for The Mentalist.
Yeah. I think this should have been the follow up to Friends instead of the show Joey. This is so much better.
Joey was okay. It had a good concept, but it just didn't do well viewer wise.
Yeah.
But like it was a good idea. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Man with a Plan.
Because I'm a man with a plan.
Yes, you are. We all are, aren't we? We're all men's with plans. Not really.
My plan is after this, I'm gonna get some food. So yeah, I'm definitely a man with a plan.
Brandon, is that gonna be a clean sweep?
No.
Of course not. Of course not. I knew it. I knew it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Next, we have Young Sheldon, which is a prequel to Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
And then we have How I Met Your Mother. Oh, man.
How I Met Your
Great
Mother.
show. True story.
Great show. I'm not gonna deny it.
Next.
Go on.
Agreed. How I Met Your Mother gets my
Young
vote.
Sheldon.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Come
Young
on.
Sheldon. Young Sheldon
Please
was not. Young Sheldon was not a sitcom. It was actually filmed very similar to Bernie Mac's show and Malcolm in the Middle, where it was shot as a what do you call it? The realistic TV show. Very much like today, you guys see Modern Family as a similar story where it's shot realistically.
Or
Um,
Superstore.
or Superstore. Fantastic.
Or single parents too. You can put that in there.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, I think I mentioned earlier, not a huge fan of NPH. So yeah, Young
And
Sheldon.
you don't like
So you got two
sitcoms either.
checks. Yeah, two checks there, bud. You got it. Two checks there. Young Sheldon would make it for me. So I understand it's not going to be a clean sweep.
But
How I
it
Met Your
has-
Mother is so funny.
I can't think of both the
Al-
names now. Marshall,
Allison Hannigan.
Allison Hannigan,
Jerry Siegel. Or,
yeah,
Jer-
Jason Segel from
Jason
Freaks and
Segel.
Geeks.
Mhm.
You
Jason
have
Josh Randor, who plays Ted.
Mhm.
Colby Smulders, who is Robin Scherbatsky. Weird last for Canadian.
I'm gonna
Wayne
interject.
Brady's in it too.
I'm gonna interject. Colby Smolder is actually in a great other show on Netflix called Friends.
Called
Taking
what?
Michael Key. It's like friends from college.
Ah,
Hmm.
It's really
So
She's
good.
no
also in the
one's.
Avengers.
Yeah, I was about to say. So no one's gonna talk about her biggest role.
And what?
Her biggest role is actually How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
disagreed.
that's
Disagree.
how was that? How you disagree with that?
Agent Hill is where I first saw Kobe Smulders, and she is still a kick-ass character.
I don't
She wouldn't
know.
have
Is
been
that
Agent Hill if it wasn't for How I Met Your Mother.
that's
That
true?
doesn't. It's a sitcom. I didn't see it.
Of course you have sitcoms. Dude,
NP
okay, this sitcom though is hilarious. I suggest you watch it. It's funny. It's funny
NPH.
forever.
MPH is amazing in this show.
And like so like you know how Neil Patrick Harris is homosexual, right? He can play a straight character so well. It's amazing how he does it.
Have you seen A Million Ways to Die in the West? I am
Yes.
fully aware of that.
I,
I don't need
yeah.
to see that to know who he is, and I don't disagree with him. I just
Oh,
don't like
you
him.
should, you definitely do need to see How I Met Your Mother to see his straight side. It's pretty. You'd be surprised.
Literally in every single thing he's in, he plays a straight guy.
Yeah, especially if you didn't know he was gay, you would be so convinced that he wasn't gay.
Okay, but you don't have to watch How I Met Your Mother. I have to watch the Harold and Kumar movies.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
But I'm just saying, like, How I Met Your Mother is such a great show.
So
I agree with that.
here's my argument with that is I've actually seen better acting for straight men playing as gay men, and the perfect person I'm going to bring up is Justin Long in his characters from the View to Skew universe, which is actually brought up in Zack and Miri Make a Porno, as well as the newest one, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. If you haven't seen that, check it out. He plays the greatest gay porn actor. And if you haven't seen it, I cannot reiterate the jokes that are in the show because of our kid viewers don't want to get demonetized. Um,
We're not monetized. It
I
doesn't
know, I'm aware.
he knows.
So just yeah, no, I totally know. I'm making a joke. Check out Justin Long's character in those movies, please.
All right, Aaron, sign off and let's get out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a week it's been. Follow. I keep forgetting your Instagram handle. I don't know why.
Jared Weathers
Follow,
YT.
Yeah, that's
yes.
pretty easy.
Also follow ReelCast Pod on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Wrestler616.
And
Subscribe to this
Brandon.
channel. And Brandon, tune in.
Are you gonna plug his
Oh,
YouTube channel? He has a
Oh, I
YouTube
thought
channel.
he was. I thought he was doing it.
Spike Nather. Is it Nather or Nather?
Nather.
Nather. Spike Nather on YouTube. Follow that. Comment, like, subscribe to all those. Have a blessed day
Have a blessed day.
and
Shut up.
suit up. Suit up.